Today's topic is percentages, and these are some of the topics that you guys will be learning from us, and we are in percentages right now. Okay, percent. So we'll first start by looking at what the word percent means. Per means for one. Cent means it is 100. So percent means for 100. That is the exact meaning of the word percent. Whenever people say percent, what they are trying to say is per meaning for one, cent meaning 100. So for 100. See, you can see this this meaning of per in another context. Let us take a vegetable shop. You go to a vegetable shop, right? You buy onions, or let's suppose you buy carrots. You buy carrots. Now the vendor says something like this. He says, "Ma'am, the price is rupees 55 per kg." Right? You heard this, right? Now when he says per, what does he try to imply? What he is implying is the price of the carrots is rupees 55 for 1 kg. So here you can clearly see per means for 1. So that is what I pointed out here. Per means for 1. Okay. So rupees 55 per kg means rupees 55 for 1 kg. Now 25% or 25%. This is symbolic notation of percent. So this is the symbol that we use to say the word or represent the word percent. Now 25% can be 25 for 100. So for every 100, 25. That is what we are looking at. So 25 for 100. Guys, if you pay close attention to this, okay, you can see 25 by 100 can be written as 1 by 4. If you pay close attention to this is what we call as fraction. 1 by 4 is what we call as fraction. Now 25 by 100 is what we call as percent, right? 25 by 100 is what we call as percent. Now both this fraction and percent represent the same thing. I want you to understand this clearly, guys. 1 by 4, this is fraction, right? So this is fraction, and 25 by 100 is percent. This is fraction. Okay. This 25 by 100 is percent. Here, this also tries to tell you that out of 100 parts, we are looking at 25 parts only. Okay, or we are concerned with 25 parts only. So that is what it is saying. Out of a total of 100 parts, we are concerned with only 25 parts. So similarly in fraction, what does it say? Out of 4 parts, we are concerned with only 1 part. Okay, so fractions and percentages say the same things, but in fraction the whole will be equal to 1. The whole will be equal to 1. In percentages, the whole will be equal to 100. Okay, this is the only difference, guys. In percentages, the whole will be equal to 100. In fractions, the whole will be equal to 1. Okay, but they both mean the same thing. They are trying to represent the whole. They are trying to represent parts of a whole. Okay, so that is what they try to do. They try to both fractions and percentages try to represent parts of a whole. Okay, so here the whole is 100 and here it is 1. Okay, in fraction the whole is 1. Okay, 1/4 represents 1 out of 4 parts. Okay, 25/100 represents 1 out of 25 out of 100 parts. Okay, so this is why we are able to we always see this thing where they convert percentage to fractions. Okay, percentage to fractions and percentage to decimal conversions are very common. The reason is this. The reason is you are able to convert it because they all mean the same thing. They are trying to represent the same thing. Okay. What is 10 percentage of 40? Let us try to understand this case. What is 10 percentage of 40? What is 60 percentage of 10? What is 40 percentage of 10? Now I want you to come up with answers, pause the video, come up with answers, and then come back again. Okay, hope you have got the answers. What is 10 percentage of 40 is 4, 60 percentage of 10 is 6, 40 percentage of 10 is 4. If you take a close look at this and this, okay guys, take a close look at these two things. Okay, now it says what is 10 percentage of 40? What is the answer that you're getting? 4. What is 40 percentage of 10? What is the answer that you're getting? 4, right? So in essence, if I want to generalize this, okay, I'll give you one more example, guys. What is 2 percentage of 10? Okay, what is 2 percentage of 10? And what is 10 percentage of 2? Okay, now as you can see in the first and the second line, what I've done is the first line it is 2 percentage of 10 and the second line is 10 percentage of 2. I've just swapped the values. In the second line, what have I done? I've just swapped the values. Okay, the first line is 2 percentage of 10. The second line is 10 percentage of 2. So what I've essentially done is I've taken this 2 and put it over here and taken this 10 and put it over here. Okay, so if you see the values of both these statements will always be the same. So what is 2 percentage of 10? It is 2, right? What is, sorry, 2 percentage of 10 is 0.2, right? 2 percentage of 10 is, so we'll try to see what is 2 percentage of 10, guys. 1 minute, just yeah. So 1 percentage of 10 is 0.1. 2 percentage of 10 will be 0.2. Okay, let us now try to understand what is 10 percentage of 2. 10 percentage of 2 again is 0.2, guys. So you can see you are getting the same answer. Okay, here look at this. 10 percentage of 40, you got 4. 40 percentage of 10, again you got 4. Okay, here again you can see this and this are interchanged. Okay, so in general what we can say is x percentage of y will be equal to y percentage of x. See, y and x are interchanged here, right? Yes, I have interchanged y and x. Okay, so this is a general formula. This is always true for all values of x and y. Okay, you can have any value of x and any value of y, but x percentage of y will always be equal to y percentage of x. Let us try to see, let us try to understand percentages well. You must be able to answer questions with percentages easily. Okay, this is a very common format or type of question percentage. What percentage of 40 is 10? Okay, you are asked to find what percentage of 40 is 10. Now, what percentage of 40 is 10? See, when you have to find this, the only thing that you have to understand is, see, whenever you are finding percent, guys, you are always doing it for 100. Yes, this is the meaning that we saw it in the previous slide, right? Whenever you are finding percentage, you are doing it for 100. So here you have to first identify what is this 100, okay, or what is this whole. I told you 100 is the whole. Yes, So what is this whole value? Okay, what is this whole value, or you can say total value? Okay, so what is this 100? See, in this example, what percentage of 40 is 10? Here, whatever is the number that comes besides off, okay, or whatever is the number which is close to off. Okay, what is the number which is close to off? It is 40, right? So in these types of statements, whatever is the number which is close to 40 is your 100 percentage. So here 40 is 100 percentage. So if 40 is 100 percentage, then 10 is how much percentage? It is very easy, right? If you know a thing or two about unitary method or chain rule, unitary method, chain rule mean the same thing. We'll be looking at it in future classes, okay? But here they are directly proportional. What does directly proportionate mean? If you increase this, this will also increase. If you decrease this, this will also decrease. This means they are directly proportional. When two things are directly proportional, you can find it just by cross multiplying it, right? All these things I'll explain it in chain rule very or in depth. Okay, right now just understand, you can just cross multiply these two to get the value of the question mark. Okay, so what do? You cross multiply this and this. Okay, you will get 25 percentage as your answer. Okay, now what percent of 10 is 40? Okay, now this might seem very similar to this question, but you cannot say 25 percentage as the answer. Okay, this doesn't have 25 percentage as the answer. If you say 25 percentage as the answer for the second question also, then you are wrong. I'll tell you why you are wrong. You're wrong because, guys, I told you whenever you see questions of this type, you must first find the 100 percentage. You must first understand what is 100 percentage, right? And how do you find what is 100 percentage? Whatever number is closer to off is 100 percentage. Here, what is closer to or? Here, 10 is closer to off. Okay, sorry, off, not or. So for the number closer to off is 10. So 100% is 10. So if 100% is 10, we are asked to find what percent is 40, right? So 40 is how much percent? So very simple, and we cross multiply. For the reasons that I discussed earlier, we cross multiply. So what we do, what we get is this 400 percentage. So 40 is 400 percentage of 10. 10 is 25 percentage of 40. So this is how you have to understand percentages and learn percentages. Now, finding percentage values for a given number. Now, 10 percentage of 5000 is 500. Okay. If you are asked to find 10 percentage of any number, I'm going to tell you a shortcut, guys. It is very easy. Here, see, right now the decimal point is here, right? Here is the decimal point. Yes. So I'll make it bigger. Right now, here is the decimal point, guys. If they ask you to find 10 percentage, move this decimal point one place here. Okay. Now, if you move this decimal point one place here, what will happen? It will become 500, right? So that is what you have to do. If you have to find 10 percentage of a value, just move the decimal point from here to here one place, or left hand side one digit. Okay, move the decimal point to the left hand side one digit. Okay, that will be 10 percentage. Now what will be 1 percentage of 5000? So here you can see the decimal point will be here. Yes. Now what you do is, for 10 percentage, you move the decimal point one place to the left hand side. For 1 percentage, you will move the decimal point two places to the left hand side. Now, so that is why we get 50, because I moved two places to the left hand side. So now 10 percentage and 1 percentage, finding it is easy, right? Now finding 10 percentage and 1 percentage is very important, because it forms the basis for you to find other percentages. So understand this carefully. Now 10 percentage of 583 is 58.3. Now you know the reason why, right? Because decimal point moves from here to here. Now 1 percentage of 583 is 5.83, and the reason is the decimal point moves from here to here. So like this 10 percentage and 1 percentage within a fraction of a second you can find it. Now if you are asked to find 69 percentage of 500, now what do you do? How do you find this? How do you do this calculation without using pen and paper? Whenever you don't use pen and paper, what you are doing is you are saving time, guys. So when you are saving time, it is going to help you or help you do other problems and give you more time to do other problems. Okay, so 69 percentage of 500, first find 10 percentage of 500. You know how to find 10 percentage. Okay, it is 50. Okay, now if 10 percentage is 50, what is 70 percentage? You just have to multiply 50 by 7. Okay, so you get 350. See, you got 70 percentage within a second. Within 1 second you got the value of 70 percentage. 69 is not far away, right? So if you know 70, 69 is not far away. Guys, you know 10 percentage is 50. You also know 1 percentage is 5. When 10 percentage is 50, 1 percentage is 5. 69 percentage is nothing but 70 percentage minus 1 percentage. So you know 70 percentage is 350 and 1 percentage is 5. So 350 minus 5 is 345, and within 5 seconds, and if you have practice, I would say within 2-3 seconds, you'll know 69 percentage of 500 is nothing but 345. See, you are getting answers very easily. So this is how you should take this forward and find it. Okay, so let's discuss one more example. 89 percentage of 43. Now as usual, you start by doing 10 percentage of 43. Now 10 percentage of 43 is 4.3. You know the reasons. Now 90 percentage is nothing but 9 into 4.3. Okay, now how do you do this again in your mind? Okay, how do you do go not reach for a pen and pencil and do it in your mind itself? So how do you do it? It is easy. Now see, forget about the decimal, we'll use decimal later. Assume this to be 43. Okay, what you are doing is you are multiplying 9 and 43. This is what you are doing. You are multiplying 9 and 43. Now how do we do it in your mind itself? It is very easy. Okay, what you do is split 43 into 40 plus 3. I am splitting 43 into 40 plus 3. This splitting you can do it in your mind itself. You don't need a pen and paper, right? Now multiply 9 into 40 and then 9 into 3. Do these things separately. What is 9 into 40? 360. Yes. What is 9 into 3? 27. What is 360 plus 27? It is 387. Okay, 360 plus 27 is 387. Just put that point over here. That's it. You got your answer, 38.7. Guys, this method, if you do it in your mind and with some practice, okay, multiplication also becomes very easy. So these are the methods in which you improve your speed in your exams. So don't take these methods lightly. Understand these methods and use it to your advantage. So we got 90 percentage of 43 as 38.7. Now 1 percentage of 43 is 0.43 and you know the reasons. So 89 percentage is nothing but 90 percentage minus 1 percentage. So 38.7 minus 0.43. After some practice, you will know it is 38.27. 38.7 minus 0.5. What you do is 38.7 minus 0.5. Do this first. Okay. So this will give you 38.2. Okay. Now you subtracted 0.07 extra. So add that. Yes, this 0.07 you have subtracted extra. So add that back. You'll get 38.27. Okay. So this is how you subtract, guys. Don't subtract, or you can do 38.7 minus. You can do it this way, 38.7 minus 0.4. This will give you 38.3, right? So you can again subtract minus 0.03. Okay, you can subtract minus 0.03. This is 0.4, this is 0.03. So again you will get 38.27. Okay, so use any way which is comfortable and convenient for you. 33 percentage of 77. How do you find it? 86 percentage of 97, 52 percentage of 83, 77 percentage of 49. All this, how do you find it? I want you guys to pause this video right now and come up with solutions like this. Okay, not like this. I don't want the exact values. Come up with solutions like this percentage of this minus this percentage of this, or this percentage of this plus this percentage of this. And pause the video right now and then come back and check your answers. 30 percentage of 77 plus 3 percentage of 77. Yes, 86 percentage could be written as 90 percentage of 97 minus 4 percentage of 97. 52 percentage of 83 could be written as, okay, half. What is half of 83? Half is 50 percentage, right? So half of 83 plus 2 percentage of 83. So half of 83, so not that there. 77 percentage of 49 could be 3 by 4th of 49. What is 3 by 4th of 49? It is 75 percentage. So 3 by 4th of 49 plus 2 percentage. 75 percentage plus 2 percentage will give you 77 percentage. And finally 22 percentage of 63. It is 1 by 4. What is 1 by 4 represent in percentage? 1 by 4 is 25 percentage. So 25 percentage of 63 minus 3 percentage of 63, and your answers will be easy. Now this table, I want you guys to know this by heart. Okay, now there is not much difference between this and this. Okay, percentage and decimal value. If you know the percentage values, decimal values is easy. Okay, so look at this. What I've written here is percentage value divided by 100 will give you this decimal value. Okay, so don't worry about just percentage values. Okay, sorry, just worry about the percentage values. Don't worry about the decimal values. If you want to go from percentage to decimal, just divide it by 100, you will get the decimal. Okay, so once you know all this, you will know all this. Okay, so concentrate on knowing this alone. Okay, this is what you have to concentrate on. Okay, so don't worry about this. Okay, this will come automatically. Now, so concentrate on understanding or knowing the percentage values. Even this, guys, is there's a shortcut, a trick to remember these values easily. Okay, now half 50 percentage. So let 1 minute. Here you have half and 50. Half you know is 50 percentage, right? So 1 by 3 is 33.33 percentage. Now guys, 1 by 4 25 percentage, that also you know. Okay, 1 by 5 20 percentage, that also you know. 1 by 6. Okay, now how do you do 1 by 6? Now 1 by 6 is nothing but half of 1 by 6 is nothing but half of 1 by 3. Yes, 1 by 6 is nothing but half of 1 by 3, right? So what is half of 33.33? It is 16.66. So this way you can remember or find the value of 1 by 6. Okay. Now 1 by 7 is 14.28. Okay. This you will have to remember 14.28. An easy way to remember is, what is 7 into 2? 7 into 2 is 14. What is 14 into 2? 14 into 2 is 28. So that way you can easily remember this. So 1 by 7 is 14.28. Now, so similarly, I'm going to give you shortcuts for other numbers. Again, 1 by 8. Look at 1 by 8, guys. Okay, now 1 by 8 is half of 1 by 4. So what is half of 25? It is 12.5. So you can easily know that 1 by 8 is 12.5. Now again, what is 1 by 10? 1 by 10 is half of 1 by 5. Okay. Now what is 1 by 12? 1 by 12 is half of 1 by 6. If 1 by 6 is 16.66, half of that is 8.33. So Again 1 by 12 you can remember like that, and 1 by 14 is half of 1 by 7. Okay, so 14.28, what is half of 14.28? You get 7.14. Okay, 1 by 16 guys is half of 1 by 8, so 1 by 8 is 12.5, so 1 by 16 will be 6.25. So look how easy it is to remember these values. Now 1 by 18 is half of 1 by 9. So 1 by 9 is 11.11 guys. So 1 by 18 is 5.55, half of this. Now how did 11.11 come in the first place? 1 by 9 is 1 by third of 1 by 3, correct? Yes, if you divide 1 by 3 by 3, you'll get 1 by 9. So divide 3.33 by 3, what do you get? You get this 11.11. Okay, so like this, if you relate it and understand it, you will never forget these values. Now 1 by 20 is half of 1 by 10, so here it is 10 and here it is 5. Now other values, for example 11 9.09 percentage, 13 7.69 percentage, 17. Okay, so 1 by 15, you know, right? How do you improve 1 by 15? 1 by 3, you know, guys, it is, or I should say, 1 by 6.66 percentage, right? What is 6.66 percentage? It is, now you know, 1 by 3 divided by, how do you get from 1 by 3 to 1 by 15? You divide it by 5. So you divide this by 5, what do you get? You get 6.66. So like this, you can remember 1 by 15 is 6.66. But the other numbers, the numbers that I am marking with a tick mark, okay, is those numbers, these numbers 7.69, 5.88, 5.25. Okay, just these three numbers, 1 by 13, okay, 1 by 17 and 1 by 19. Okay, just these three numbers, maybe 1 by 11 also. Okay, these four numbers I want you to by heart. Okay, learn it by heart. Okay, so mug it up. Okay, so that whenever I say 1 by 11, you should be able to say it is 9.09 percentage. Whenever I say 1 by 19, you should say it is 5.25 percentage. Whenever I say 1 by 17, you must say it is 5.88 percentage, and 1 by 13 is 7.69 percentage. Like I told you, these decimal values are nothing but percent values divided by 100. 50 you divide it by 100, it is 0.5. 33.33 you divide it by 100, you get 0.3333. 25 you divide it by 100, it is 0.25, right? So so on and so forth. Now why do we learn this table, or why do we know the percent equivalent of fractions and fractional equivalent of percent? We know it by heart, or we know it at the back of our mind. The reason is, guys, sometimes it is convenient to convert fraction to percentages. Okay, while doing problems, you'll understand and appreciate and thank me later for this table, because it makes calculations easy. You can see, always I'm trying to do one thing, I'm always trying to make calculations easy. When calculation becomes easy, you do problems quickly, and when you do it quickly, you'll have more time to solve other problems. So that is the final aim. So all these techniques are geared towards that. Now 4 by 5, 17 by 5, 7 by 9, 3 by 19. I told you sometimes it is useful to convert fractions to percentages. This is the perfect example, 4 by 5. Now sometimes you will have to know what is the percentage equivalent of 4 by 5, and you will have to know it within 1 second or within fraction of a second. Okay, at that time what will you do? Will you go keep calculating it? No. So use this. Okay, 4 by 5 is 80 percentage, because guys, you know that in the table the value of 1 by 5 is 20 percentage. Because 1 by 5 is 20 percentage, you automatically know 4 by 5 is 80 percentage. If I ask you what is 2 by 5, you will say 40 percentage. If I ask you what is 3 by 5, you will say it is 60 percentage. So like this, it becomes easy. Now 17 by 5, it is nothing but 340 percentage. Multiply 17 by 20. Okay. To get 4 by 5, you multiply 20 by 4, right? So you to get 17 by 5, you multiply 17 by 5. 17 by 20, you get 340 percentage. And the reason is again 1 by 5 is 20 percentage. Now 7 by 9. When you look at 7 by 9, you must say it is 77.77 percentage. The reason is 1 by 9 is 11.11 percentage. So 7 by 9 is 77.77 percentage. What is 5 by 9? 55.55 percentage, right? What is 4 by 9? 44.44 percentage. What is 8 by 9? 88.88 percentage. Okay. 3 by 19. It is 15.75, guys. It is because you know that 1 by 19 is 5.25. If 1 by 19 is 5.25, 3 by 19 is nothing but 5.25 into 3. 5.25 into 3. Now, do you remember the way that I taught you to multiply this? Yes, 525 into 3. Okay, you just have to do 525 into 3. Okay, so 525 into 3. Now, this you can split it as 500. Yes, plus 20 plus 5. All this you can do it in your mind itself. Okay, no need for a pen and paper. Okay, first for a couple of times you have to do it in pen and paper. After that, all this will become automatic. This automatically, once you see 525, you will think of 520 and 5. Now multiply 3 into 500, 1500. 3 into 20, 60. 3 into 5, 15. So what is 1500 plus 60 plus 15? It is 1575. Now, because we have decimal points after 2 digits, it is 15.75. So, did you know how you got 15.75? Yes. Sometimes it is convenient to convert fraction to percentages. You will have to know what is 5.25 percentage. You will have to know what is 16.66 percentage. You will have to know what is 45.45 percentage, and you will have to know what is 44.44 percentage, all in terms of fractions. Now, 5.25 percentage, guys, you can easily write it as 1 by 19, because you already know 1 by 19 is 5.25 percentage. When you know the table, you know 1 by 19 is 5.2. So you can clearly write 5.25 percentage is 1 by 19. 16.66 percentage. See, you know that, yes, 1 by 12 is 8.33 from the table. So 16.66 is nothing but 2 by 12. What is 2 by 12? It is 1 by 6. So 16.66 is nothing but 1 by 6. Some of you might already know that 1 by 6 is 16.66 directly. Okay. But indirectly also it means the same thing. 45.45. It is 5 by 11. The reason is, you know that 1 by 11 is 9.09 percentage. If 1 by 11 is 9.09 percentage, then 5 by 11 must be 45.45, because 9.09, you multiply this by 5. What do you get? 9 into 5 is 45. Again, 09 into 5 is 45. So you get 45.45 percentage. So if you know that 1 by 11 is 9.09, you know that 5 by 11 is 45.45. Not only that, what is 4 by 11? It is 36.36, right? What is 3 by 11? It is 27.27, right? See how it makes things easy. If you ask you what is 27.27 percentage in fraction, you just say 3 by 11. Okay, it is because of practice. You have to take the table, guys, and then practice. Okay, once you practice it, all this becomes easy. 44.44 percentage. What is 44.44 percentage? It is, once you know 1 by 9 is 11.11 percentage, guys, you know this. Okay, so we've already seen it here. 7 by 9 is 77.77 percentage. So 4 by 9 must be 44.44 percentage. So I'll give you 88.88 percentage is 8 by 9. Okay, so it is as simple as that. Sometimes it is convenient to convert fractions to decimals. So that is why we have it. So fractions to decimals. So if you know 4 by 9 is what percentage? It is 44.44 percentage. If I have to convert it in decimal, divide it by 100. Okay. You guys, 4 by 9 is 44.44 percentage. So if I have to convert it to decimal, I have to just bring this decimal point 2 places to the left because I am dividing this by 100, right? If I have to convert percentage to decimals. So you're getting this 0.4444. Yes, it is because of that reason. 1 by 9 is this value. 2 by 19. Remember what is 1 by 19? 5.25. Yes. So what happens is 1 by 19 is 5.25. So 2 by 19 is 10.5, right? 2 by 19 is multiply 5.25 into 2. Okay, 5.25 into 2. If I do this, what I get is 10.5, right? Guys, but this 10.5 is percentage value. What I want is decimal value. For that, I have to divide it by 100. So if I divide this by 100, I'll get 0.05. So again, it is easy this way. 7 by 11. Okay, so I want you to come up with answers. Guys, pause the video, come up with answers. Do practice. Without practice, you won't get it. 7 by 11. How much is 7 by 11? 1 by 11 is 9.09 percentage. 7 by 11 is 63.3663 percentage, right? 63.63 percentage. Converted into decimal 0.63. Sorry, 0.6363. Okay. 4 by 7, 1 by 7 is 14.28 percentage. Then 4 by 7 is 14.28 into 4. So what do you do? Multiply 14 by 4, multiply 28 by 4. What do you get is? What you get is this 0.5712. So guys, this will make it very easy. Now comes the most important part of percentages class, guys. You have to understand how to increase a number by R percentage. R is a generalized term. So we'll see how to increase a number by a certain percentage. Okay, and how to do it with minimum effort and maximum speed. Minimum effort and maximum speed often goes hand in hand. Wherever there is minimum effort, you'll find that speed will be maximum. Maybe we'll talk about those things in time and work. Okay, effort and speed, right? Time and work, time, speed, distance. We'll talk about that there. Now, increase 50 by 10 percentage. How do you do it? You have to increase 50 by 10 percentage. The usual method, see, the meaning of this is, guys, you have a number which is 50. So this is the number 50. You have to increase it by 10 percentage. So obviously the number that you're going to get is going to be greater than 50. Okay, so that is one thing that you can say for sure. You can say for sure that the number that you are going to get is going to be greater than 50. If you're going to increase a number, obviously it's going to be greater than 50. You are not just going to increase the number, you are going to increase this number by 10 percentage. Now the usual method that guys apply is, they take 10 percentage. What is 10 percentage, guys? 10 by 100, right? They take 10 percentage of 50 and then add it to 50. This is the usual way you do it, right? You take 10 percentage of 50 and then you add it to 50. What is 10 percentage of 50, guys? It is 5, right? So 10 percentage of 50 is 5. So you add it to 50, you get 55, right? So this is the final answer. Okay, but your numbers won't be as simple as this, so you cannot apply this method everywhere. Okay, so that is why you need a shortcut, guys. Now look at this. Watch this. This is one term, this is another term, right? So this is what we call as binomial. Have you heard this term binomial? What does binomial mean? An expression with two terms. Bi means two, right? So here this is one term, this is the second term. So this is a binomial expression. Okay. It says 50. In this two terms, is there anything common? Yes, you can see that 50 is common. So what do? Take 50 outside. If you take 50 outside, this is what will happen. It will become 1 plus 10 by 100. Okay. Now what you do is take LCM. This will become 50 into 110 by 100. Okay, this will become 50 into 110 by 100. So guys, we look at one more example. Increase 500 by 30 percentage. So what do? You do take 30 percentage of 500 and add it to 500. So what happens is take 500 outside because 500 is common here and here you have 500. So take 500 outside. So what you get is you get this. So 500 you take LCM. Okay, this will become 130. 100 will go here. 100 plus 30 will be 130. This will become 130 by 100. I'm going to give you one more example. Increase 400 by 40 percentage. You do the same thing. Okay, right? What you do is take 40 percentage of 400 and then add it to 400. And finally, you'll have take 400 outside. You'll have 1 plus 40 by 100 and 400 into 140 by 100. Now, I want you guys to look at this very closely. Now, if I have to increase 50 by 10 percentage, what I am doing is I am multiplying 50 by 110 by 100. If I have to increase 500 by 30 percentage, I am multiplying 500 by 130 by 100. Guys, if I have to increase 400 by 40 percentage, I have to multiply 400 by 140 by 100. Okay, so you can see this 10 has become 110. This 30 has become 130. This 40 has become 140. Okay, so how does 10 become 110, 30 become 130, 40 become 140? You just add 100, right? So that is what I'm going to do. Okay, what I'm going to do is, in general, if the number is n, to increase it by r percentage, what I'll do is I'll multiply that number n. This is the number n. I'll multiply the number n by 100 plus r. Why am I doing 100 plus r? I am adding 100 to r. I am adding 100 to r. I am adding 100 to r to get this 110, 130, 140. So in general, this is the formula. The n, where n represents the number, n into 100 plus r by 100. Okay. So whenever you see, whenever they ask you to increase 50 by 10 percentage, what you do is you can forget about all this. Okay, forget about all this. Just can't do this. You will save time. Multiply 50 by 110 by 100. How do you increase 500 by 30 percentage? Multiply 500 by 130 by 100. That's it. Okay, so forget about this. Forget about all this. Okay, so this makes problem solving easy, guys. Okay, so if you have to increase 400 by 40 percentage, multiply 400 by 140 by 100. That's it. Now, next is to decrease a number by r percentage. It is the same thing, but we'll have a look at it. Only one, instead of plus, you have to do minus. Okay, there you did plus 100, right? You did 100 plus n, 100 plus r, right? Here you'll do 100 minus r. So we'll look at that. We'll understand the rationale behind it. Decrease 50 by 10 percentage. What will you do? You will do take 10 percentage of 50 and then decrease it or subtract it from 50, right? So, and you'll get this. Take 50 outside. So the common number in both the terms is 50. Take it outside, guys. You get 1 minus 10 by 100. Again, the next step you guys know, it is 50 into 90 by 100. How did this 90 come about? It is nothing but 100 minus this. 100 minus this, I got this. In the previous slide, we did 100 plus this. 100 plus 10, we got 110. Here we are doing 100 minus 10, which we are getting to be 90. 500 by 30 percentage. So I hope by now you know you decrease, you multiply 500 by 70 by 100, and 400 by 40 percentage, you multiply 400 by 60 by 100. So in general, if n is to be decreased by r percentage, okay, you guys have to do n into 100 minus r by 100. Just this alone will help you. Okay, you need not worry about these things. So if you have to decrease 500 by 30 percentage, I just multiply 500 by 70 by 100. If you have decrease 400 by 40 percentage, I just multiply 400 by 60 by 100. Now, how to find percentage increase or percentage decrease? Okay. Now, okay, this is totally different from what we've seen. Okay, so let's take an example and try to understand this. So the price of a pen is increased by 10 percentage. By how much percentage should it be decreased to bring it back to the original price? This is my question. So just think about it. Pause the video. This is very important. When I say pause the video, you pause the video. Okay, just think about it. The price of a pen is increased by 10 percentage. By how much percentage should it be decreased to bring it back to the original price? Okay, come up with an answer. So I hope you pause the video and come up with an answer. Now, if your answer is 10 percentage, then you have to rethink your answer because it is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because you not understood the concept of increase percentage or decrease percentage. So that is what we are trying to do now. We'll understand what is increase percentage and decrease percentage. You saw how to increase a number by certain percentage. You saw how to decrease a number by certain percentage. But what is increase percentage and decrease percentage? We'll see what is that. Okay. But before that, this is the formula that we use for increase or decrease percentage. For both increase percentage and decrease percentage, guys, we'll be using this formula only. Difference between two numbers by base into 100. Okay, so I'll explain what all this means. But right now, just understand difference between two numbers by base into 100. Now, whenever you are asked to find increase percentage or decrease percentage, you will always have two numbers. Here it is 100 and 110. Only if you have two numbers, you can find increase percentage or decrease percentage, right? So first thing is you'll have two numbers. Now, when you have two numbers, the difference between these two numbers, what is the difference between these two numbers, guys? It is 10, right? So the difference between two numbers, according to this question, is 10. Okay. Now the difference between two numbers is 10. What 110 minus 100 is 10, right? So don't say negative 10. We are just interested about the difference, not about the sign here. Okay. So 10 base. Okay. This base for increase percentage will be different, and this base for decrease percentage will be different. That is how we are using the same formula to find two different things. Yes, please, you understand. You are using the same formula to find increase percentage and decrease percentage because the base will be different. The base will be different for decrease percentage and the base will be different for increase percentage. The rest of the things, the different, this and this will be the same, but the base will differ. Okay, now how will you choose the base? How will you decide on what the base is? Okay, again it depends upon the increase or decrease percentage. When you are finding increase percentage, base is the number which is getting increased. Okay, according to this example, what is the number which is getting increased? It is 100, right? What is the number which is getting increased? It is 100. So base is 100 here. Okay. Let us suppose you are trying to find decrease percentage. Base will be the number which is getting decreased. Okay. So we'll look at that example in the next slide. Right now here the base will be 100. So increase percentage is nothing but 10 by 100 into 100. I told you, right? This is 10. This is 100. this is this 100. So you will finally get an answer of 10 percentage. So from 100 to go from 100 to 110, there should be an increase of 10 percentage. Okay. Now we look at the other thing, from 110 to 100. Now it is decreasing, right? 110 to 100. So again, decrease percentage is this. Now, how did we come at this? This is the difference between the two numbers. This is the base. I told you while finding decrease percentage, base will be the number which is getting decreased. Here, decrease, which number is getting decreased? 110 is getting decreased. So, finally, you will get the answer to be 9.09 percentage. So, to move from 110 to 100, you should decrease 9.09 percentage, guys. So see, did you understand why we went? Now we look at this. We'll go to the previous slide. If you go to the previous slide, you'll understand. Now look at this. If a price of the pen is increased by 10 percentage, by how much percentage should it be decreased to bring it back to the original price? See, from 100 to 110, 10 percentage is the increase. Okay, but from 110 to 100, what is the decrease? It is not 10, it was 9.09 percentage, right? So this is the important learning that you must understand. Okay, from 100 to 110, you have to increase 10 percentage, but if you have to go from 110 to 100, okay, you have to do 9.09 percentage. So the percentages won't be equal for any two numbers. The increase percentage and decrease percentage will never be equal. So this is one important learning that you must understand. Okay, so this is the case for all two numbers. So in this case, the decrease percentage was 9.09, guys. So let us this learning that you take is for any two numbers. Take any two numbers. The increase percentage and decrease percentage will always be different. Okay. Now, a number is increased by 10 percentage and then decreased by 10 percentage. What is the resultant change in the percentage? Okay, they are asking you to find the resultant change, because let us assume this to be 100. Okay, we are flatly assuming the number to be 100 because no number is given, right? So it is always easy. With percentages, always assume it to be 100. It will make it easy for you. Now let the given number be 100. Increase it by 10 percentage. What do you get, guys? You get 110, right? You increase 100 by 10 percentage, you get 110. Decrease 110 by 10 percentage, what do you get? You get 99, right? See, if you have to give a more clear explanation, what is 10 percentage of 100? 10 percentage of 100 is 10, right? So you got 110. What is 10 percentage of 110? 10 percentage of 110 is 11. So you decrease 110 and 11, you get 99. Okay. Now, initially, it was 100. After a 10 percentage increase and a 10 percentage decrease, now it is 99. Okay. So what is the resultant change? Usually, when I ask this question to people, you increase a number by 10 percentage and then you decrease it by 10 percentage. What is the final percentage change? They'll say no change. And I suppose most of you will be saying the same answer. Okay, but do you see a no change here? Is 100 to 99 a no change? No, there is a change. There is a change which is minus 1 percentage. So the number 100 has become 99. So the resultant percentage change is minus 1, or a decrease of 1 percentage. So be careful with percentages, guys. Okay. Now, in the previous example, I increased it by 10 percentage and then decreased it. Okay, here I'm going to do the opposite. Decrease it by 10 percentage first and increase it by 10 percentage. Now pause the video and I want you to come up with answers, guys. So a number is decreased by 10 percentage and then increased by 10 percentage. Pause the video now. So I hope you got the answer. What is the resultant change in the percentage? So again, we'll assume the number to be 100. I'm going to decrease 100 by 10 percentage. You know, if I 10 percentage of 100 is 10. So if I subtract 10 from 100, you will get 90. and then increase 90 by 10 percentage. Now what is 10 percentage of 90? It is 9. If I add it to 90, I'll get 99. So again I am getting it, the 100 has become 99 again. Okay, so what is the resultant percentage change? The resultant percentage change is minus 1 or decrease of 1. So it doesn't matter you decrease first or increase first, if the result will be the same. Okay, now if the percentage values are large, then we cannot rely on this method, and we have a formula to arrive at the answer quicker. Okay, so you heard it right. To do this, see, 10 percentage, 10 percentage was simple. Okay, but what if it was 23 percentage and 45 percentage, 37 percentage and 47 percentage? You cannot be doing it like this. Okay, uh, because 40 increase 100 by 47 percentage, you get 147. Then you have to increase 147 by 37 percentage. Then that becomes difficult, right? So that is why we just have a formula. Just insert the values in the formula, you will get answers within no time. Okay, this is the formula. So I'm taking the same question, and the name for this formula is successive percentage change formula. Okay, and it is a plus b plus ab by 100. Okay, and you have to be careful to understand that this 100 belongs to only this term. Okay, this 100 belongs to the third term only. The first term and second term doesn't have divided by 100. Okay, so that you must be aware of. Now what is a? A is plus 10, where plus indicates increase. Okay, guys, the number is increased by 10, right? So here you are increasing by 10. So plus 10. What does B? B is minus 10, because minus indicates decrease. Okay, so decrease by 10, right? So minus 10. Let us suppose we decrease it by 30. This will become minus 30. This value will become minus 30 if you're decreasing it by 30. Whenever you're decreasing, you will do minus. Whenever you're increasing, you will do 10. Let us suppose you had two increases of 10. Okay, there is a 10 percentage increase, and again instead of a decrease you have a 10 percentage increase. Now what will happen is this b will become plus 10. B will become plus 10. Both will be plus 10 plus 10s. Okay, because there are two increases. So when there is increase, use the positive sign. When there is a decrease, use the negative sign. Similarly, if you have two decreases, okay, if you have two decreases, then you'll have two minus 10s. Okay. So what I'll do is substitute the values. So instead of A, I'll put 10. Instead of B, I'll put minus 10. Substitute the values. You will get minus 1. Guys, you know why it is minus 1. 100 became 99. I told you the resultant is minus 1. You don't need to do all those circus. You just apply this formula. You'll get the answer within 10 seconds or 20 seconds. Okay.